Picture this. It's the day of your job interview. You just finished college. You've worked so hard to get here, past 16 years. You think it goes well, but you get a phone call back the next day saying you didn't get the job. Suppose the reason you didn't get the job was because of your sex. In order to prove that this is morally wrong, I will use the consequentialist theory that says that actions that take place should maximize the happiness of everyone involved. This form of discrimination against sex is becoming more apparent in today's society for both male and females. In order for sexual equality to exceed, androgyny must exist for both male and females. In order to further explain why androgynous ideal must exist for sexual equality, the following terms must be defined: sex, gender, androgynous ideal, and sexual equality. Sex is biologically based. You're either male or you're female. Gender, however, is a bit more of a gray area, where it's more masculine and feminine, where a female can be either really feminine and slightly masculine, or more masculine and less feminine, and vice versa for males. Androgynous ideal is where the male has the characteristics of both male and female, or they either have either both or neither characteristics of both genders. Sexual equality is when neither sex receives a privilege over another only because of their sex. Unfortunately, certain sexes are preferred in the corporate world, causing a gender pay gap. One of the reasons this gap exists is because after graduating college from a year and working for a year, women are only earning 80% of what a man earns. Then looking 10 years later down the road, a woman is only earning 69% of a man's salary. In other words, over 10 years, a woman is earning only a little more than 2/3 of a man's salary. So both sexes worked equally as hard to get where they are. However, it seems that the male population is at an advantage compared to the female population, because a male receives the full salary while the female receives the short end of the stick. This gap exists because corporate businesses, either intentionally or unintentionally, hire a male over a female. This discrimination against women when men are hired because of their sex causes a cycle to develop. The cycle begins when a man and a woman enter a relationship. Let's just say they both have great jobs, and then a man's promotion comes along. They have to decide what they're going to do next in that relationship. Are they going to stay together and she stays where she's at in her nice job and he moves away and try to form a long-distance relationship? Are they just going to end the relationship? Or the one that's most likely picked, the woman will quit her job and follow him. So now she's quit her paying job to go to wherever he's at, and she doesn't know whether she's going to get a job or if the job is going to be as well paying, or even if she's going to find a job where her credentials are able to be used. And let's just say there's children involved as well. So these children have to move from where their school is at now. They have to make new friends, and then what if there's family being left behind and there's no family in this new place where they're moving to? Now they have to also take in the cost of a babysitter. So in this situation, the greater happiness of everyone involved does not occur, because the female has to quit her job to go wherever the man's job is at, and then the children are also having to move away from their friends, and also their school. If they're in school, they could either be behind where they move at, or they could be ahead, and then if they're not mature enough for that, then they're going to be at a disadvantage. Also, discrimination against women in the workforce is specifically targeted towards women that are married or married with children. This is seen by a study showing that women between the ages of 22 and 30 without children, and they're single, on average earned 8% more than their male coworkers. The one reason behind this could be that women are obtaining a higher education than men. This is seen in a study by the Wall Street Journal that between 2006 and 2008, 32.7% of women between 25 and 34 had a bachelor's degree or higher, compared against the 25.8% of men. Another reason is that men are working in more blue-collar industries, and in most recent years, there has been more job cuts, causing more employment and less job options for those male workers. But some people still believe that women desire the same opportunities that they've had in the past, and that these desires that a woman may have would be that a man's provide for them, conventional motherhood, femininity, fair economic opportunity, and political and economic power. Women like to have the sense of security, and a man gives them that. They can be the stay-at-home mom that they may want to be. Because it's often said that motherhood is one of the greatest joys and one of the most rewarding jobs in life. And a lot of women desire to have children someday. Many women that do not have children, though, are more likely to be lonely compared to women with a family. Also, some women could enjoy enhancing their appearance with clothes and makeup and fixing their hair, and either for their own appreciation or another's, whether it be just a friend, a mother, a sister, or a person of the opposite sex. Because if their appearance helps them achieve this masculine man they desire, then they can have children and they can achieve their desires that they want. But these superficial ideas of femininity, a masculine husband, and children, they're demeaning towards women. It makes women seem that their goal in life is just to please a man and have their children. And today, women are much more independent than in the past. Looking at the history of women's rights, women were not permitted to work much instead they were to find a husband, settle down, and have kids. In today's society, women can vote and actually make up most of the electorate. They can have any job that they earn and obtain a higher education maybe for this job. Because they are more independent today, they are not as confined to this lifestyle of the past of having to depend on a man and please him and to gain this financial support that a man would offer them. Because this could be why some women do not marry and have children as seen in the past, and why there is an 8% more salary, or they receive 8% more than a man's salary. Because women want a meaningful work, a meaningful life outside of having children and having a husband. They want meaningful work, friendship, artistic expression, to be able to contribute to society and to respond to spiritual callings. Most of these desires women have had throughout most of history, but were denied because it was just not offered then until the more present years of now. So overall, the greatest happiness depends on what the woman wants exactly. Does she want to have a husband and a child and be a homemaker? If so, then the greater happiness is maximized that way. But she still should have the option to be able to do whatever she wants to do and to be able to obtain her desires. So in that way, if a woman desires to have a job, the company that she works for should not disadvantage her by paying a man almost 33% more than she would be paid after 10 years. So overall, I think in order to bridge this pay gap between the sexes, or when corporations hire someone, that they don't discriminate over someone if they're male or female when hiring them. And also, each position, no matter if someone is male or female, the salary should be the same for both sexes. Thank you.